Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another coffee talk. And man, I had one filmed in the bag and rendering, and I happened to get on Twitter, and wow, it was enough to make me just stop the rendering and delete everything I had said and start over because it just doesn't get better than this at times. I was kind of just going on about the things that had been going on with Phil and how I thought that this year was going to be pretty much it for him, and that this was going to be, we're witnessing I don't even want to say the beginning of the end. This is more like the middle of the end. And then I seen this forum post that Dragon Killer had screen capped and put out there, so props to Dragon Killer there. But let's go over this real quick, shall we? He is addressing someone that offered some criticism, and this was Phil's response. Hits of the week ran for a month, far long enough to see if the interest warranted the time investment. It didn't. Hits of the week did not run for a month, Phil. You made 3 hits of the week since KO Gaming has debuted, and then you dropped it like a bad habit because, unfortunately for you, you need instant gratification. If you put something out there and it doesn't become a success overnight, you feel like it's a failure. You don't put the work and the effort into something to nurture it and possibly make it grow into something. On top of that, coming off of your main channel, which has, 170k and some change subscribers, KO Gaming has a little over 5,000 subscribers. Yeah. You were doomed from the start because people aren't moving over to your new channel right away. But let's continue on. PC gaming, I was never really into, he puts that in quotations, to begin with, solely for capture purposes. Now that I've been on a new capture setup for 1.5 years, it's literally impossible without a massive sacrifice to quality, which negates the reason of playing the games on PC to begin with. Until I somehow make a ton of capital for a second PC to capture with, it just cannot happen. But games that are not demanding, not as in all caps by the way, it's still possible, as shown with my recent Hearthstone videos. Okay, there's 2 things there I want to address. First and foremost, yes, it is easier if you have 2 PCs, one to game on and one to stream on. However, it is entirely possible to stream at an acceptable bitrate and play the game at the highest settings that your PC can run it. I can stream games off of my PC perfectly fine. He does not want to put in the effort to properly learn how to adjust his settings to give a quality 1080p 60 frames per second stream from his PC. He just wants to turn everything up and call that quality. There's plenty of streamers on Twitch or whatever that run games at the highest possible settings and stream at a very good quality. Like I said, he just doesn't want to do the research to figure out how he should set up his settings to accomplish this. So he thinks that his way is not conducive to streaming off of the same PC that you are playing on. But if he would figure out what his bitrate needs to be and go from there, he would be perfectly fine. But, he's an idiot. Also, the Hearthstone thing. To me, that seems like he's trying to capitalize on the popularity of Hearthstone, but he's late to the party by like a year and a half. People that generally watch Hearthstone nowadays already go to the streamers that are established in the Hearthstone community. They're not going to generally seek out new people that play the game, and it's probably not something that's going to be something that's searched for on YouTube Gaming or YouTube in general. And when most people think of Phil, because Phil's more well known than what his fan base or his subscriber count would lead on, they generally aren't going to put Phil and Hearthstone into the same sentence. Because for one, he's not generally known for being an intelligent gamer, and knowing game mechanics, so most people are automatically going to assume he's going to be completely shit at the game. But that's neither here nor there. This next bit in his post, this is pretty good too. Actually, the whole post is like just gold. Green screen is out of the question now because of copyright infringement abuse on YouTube. I've explained this numerous times. I loved, all in caps again, using it the 2 times I did. Even had tons of stuff planned. Huge, all in caps, Fallout 4 skits. Even had props saved up for it. Yes, I know, you remind us about the bottle caps every chance you get. And that all went out the window with the abuse of YouTube's copyright system. I spent a lot of time and money on the green screen, and I'm not happy about this at all. Well, see, the thing with the copyright issues he's had, the ones that were about the fan art, his first major mistake was he didn't get anything in writing to protect his ass for using the fan art. Having a forum post saying, if you want me to use your fan art on pre-stream or whatever, post it here, that's not a legally binding contract, buddy. And I know that you like to tout that you're this like big master of copyright law and you know all this stuff, but you don't. If he would strike up a deal with somebody to have them provide him with art, get some kind of agreement drawn up, and both parties signed off on it, he would be protected. But that's just too much work, I guess? I don't know. The next bit, live calls added almost nothing to the podcast, were a huge risk, and as of early 2015 are impossible as my IP would be leaked. I was DDoS attacked for months on and off. Sorry, it's not worth it. Oh yeah, the podcast is over now, and the increase in vlogging to replace it is massively taking off. Yeah, he just doesn't like it because Loophole wrecked him when he had live calls that one time. And I think, for the most part, if he really wanted to do live calls, there's plenty of alternatives to Skype. I think actually the Skype exploit has been fixed, where you can't get the IP. I could be mistaken on that. But I mean, he could use Discord, Google Hangouts, things like that. I mean, there's plenty of other options to do, like call-ins or have a podcast where people talk. But again, since he can just plop his fat ass on the couch and talk at his camera for 20 minutes and edit that video down a little bit, you know, why put in the effort to interact with your fans in a podcast setting, or having your fans call in and being able to shoot with them? You know, it's that's not worth it at all. That wouldn't garner any good publicity at a time when you need it. And Twitch, this bit's really good. This kind of goes back to the first bit a little bit. Twitch, really? I streamed there for 1.5 years before I decided to move on. Not just because of a forced downgrade in quality, but many other reasons, as I've previously discussed. There was no benefit to streaming there, as I didn't constantly advertise to get new subs, and the model I'm using now, YouTube Patreon, is actually more profitable than anything I got from Twitch subs. Well, yeah, I'm sure, you know, that's $1,000 in the bank every week with Patreon, or every month with Patreon. So I'm sure that's more money than you would have made off of Twitch. However, you probably would have got more exposure off of Twitch. And again, going back to what I was saying about the PC stuff, if he wasn't such a fucking tard about his quality settings, he could have met the requirements that Twitch wanted and still been able to stream at a decent quality. And on top of that, you can stream at one level of quality and save your local files at a higher quality. But, you know, again, that's too much work for a man-child like him. You know, why put in effort? And see, this is the thing with Phil, is, I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't want to put the effort into it. He wants to vomit out these videos as quickly and as many as possible, and get his he's still on that like system that he had when he started with YouTube, where he just flooded his channel with with videos, and no matter what, he was going to get views because there was just so much there. Somebody was bound to click on a video at some point and watch a little bit of it. Whereas now, like the hits of the week is a perfect example. He's bitching about 2 nights of 4 to 5 hours of work, or 8 to 10 hours of work, depending on whether you're listening to him talk on his pre-stream or type it in a forum post. The numbers keep changing. He doesn't want to exert himself. He wants to put the least amount of work in, but get the biggest return possible. And that's just not going to happen, especially now in this day and age with the way YouTube is and the way the general YouTube viewing audience is. His methods just aren't going to work anymore. You can't, like Street Fighter V, for example. Nobody wants to watch one match at a time. And that actually would have benefited him the most if he would have like made an edited video of like his best Zangief matches, or best wins, or things like that. And he tried that with KO Gaming, but he just doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I can't really think of any other way to get around to discuss this without coming back to he's fucking lazy. I mean, that is at the core of all of these things that he's talking about and saying aren't legitimate criticisms. Is he's fucking lazy. That's the heart of it. I don't know. The best part of this post, though, is the ending. He says, "It's funny because every single example you gave is completely unwarranted. Just saying. Calling a gaming YouTuber who's been around since 2008 and keeps at it, especially with what I've been through, a quitter. I'm anything but that." Oh, man. Yes, he's been around since 2008. His kingdom, as that he reigns over as the king of hate, is quickly crumbling around him. But, you know, he's not a quitter. Oh, man, there's just so much wrong with that statement. He drops anything that doesn't, again, give him... He needs instant gratification. And he's view quit games. He's view quit series, like different series that he's had over the years. And he has no self-awareness. Like, I can't figure out what his thought process is. I mean, I know we can all sit here and say he's lazy, he's stupid, and yeah, I mean, he is all those things, but nothing is his fault. He reminds me of a spoiled child that was never told no, and when something doesn't go his way, he doesn't know how to handle it, so he stomps his feet and fucking screams and cries. And I mean, that's exactly what he's doing. And he doesn't, the help that people try to offer him, he gives these condescending fucking dismissive answers to, because it all comes back to not wanting to put the effort into it. And I mean, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, and he can't get that through his head. And essentially what happened, this post is a perfect example of why I don't think he's going to last to the end of the year. He is resistant to change. He doesn't want to put forth any effort, and he doesn't listen to anything anybody tells him. I mean, he'll do these stupid fucking Twitter posts where he's like, what do you guys want to see? The Hearthstone, Street Fighter, Twilight Princess. That's just an example. But that's the only thing he'll listen to. He wants you to tell him what to play because he's hoping he'll get views. But outside of that, he doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks or what kind of suggestions, whether they're helpful or not, anybody has, because he doesn't want to do anything more than sit on his fucking fat, hairy, gout-infested fucking ass and push buttons on a controller or talk into a camera. That's all he fucking wants to do. He is the epitome of fucking lazy when it comes to YouTube. And it just... I don't know, man. He has such a warped perception on how this shit works now. And he's still stuck in 2008. And he can't get past that. He's alienated his friends. He's driven off viewers. He just constantly spews misinformation and thinks he fucking knows everything about everything when it comes to gaming or pop culture and stuff like that. And if you tell him otherwise, you're wrong. And he just... As much as he wants to blame the detractors or anything like that, no one is responsible for his downfall more than him. And he will never accept that. He will never understand that. And it's just something that when his channels, when he's finally done, it's going to be everybody else's fault but his own. And people like that never learn anything of value from life and never grow as human beings. So, I mean, it's just, he's going to be stuck that way. And when it comes to an end, he's not going to go quietly into the night. It's going to be, I personally think it's going to be a grand fucking show where he's just going to completely lose it and just hit fucking critical mass and have a meltdown, and it's going to be spectacular. I mean, he's going to be a fucking mess. But at the rate he's going, between this thing where he's got a fucking... I think he has in his head where if he doesn't have any interest in playing a game, or he doesn't think it's going to gain any views for him, then he'll shit, like with the Division right now, like he's shit talking the hell out of Division, calling team-based shooters a fad and all this other stuff like that. And to me, that comes off as he's saying these things to justify to him why he shouldn't play that game. Whereas he's not so much trying to justify it to his audience why he's not playing it. He's trying to make it seem like in his head he's making the right decision, and that this decision will benefit him. So he trashes these games and just hopes that what he ends up doing will be successful for him. And at the rate he's going, he's not going to gain any massive success this year. I don't foresee anything coming out between now and the end of the year that he can play that's going to give him this spike in popularity, because at the end of the day, he's already known for being what he is, and that's not going to change. The only way he can salvage his YouTube career is if he himself changes, and he doesn't think there's anything wrong with how he is, what he does, or what he says. So the writing's on the wall, and it's only a matter of time. So we'll see. Again, like I said, I don't foresee him being here till the end of the year, but I could be wrong. I mean, he is going to drag this out as long as possible, but like I said at the beginning of the video, I think we're witnessing the middle of the end. The beginning of the end has already happened, so we're progressing through it, but we'll see where it goes from here. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. This is actually longer than the original video I made, so if you made it this far, I'm sorry if you didn't have anything better to do and you wasted 18 minutes listening to me run at the mouth. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Alright, have a good one.